right? If you don't have any integrity, you got a problem. Okay. Uvi kwashtem oti, urumatzatem the key, the tivrushani the devikol lavavamkim. Okay. This is Yah talking. This is Yah talking. Okay. I have it highlighted here with the bakol, the lavavkim. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what that is here in a second. Okay. But this is what he says. He says, when you seek me, you will find me, provided you seek me wholeheartedly. Do you think that takes integrity? Do you think that it takes a certain type of mindset? Yeah, it does. So you're going to have to seek me this way, and I will let you find me, says Yahweh. Okay. So it's contingent upon you, number one, seeking after Yah, but also in the way that you do it. And they got that word wholeheartedly there, which is what they would call your levavkim. Okay. Your levavkim is your heart. The wholeheartedness of it is this bakol. Okay. We went over kol before, and kol means to be tamed. Okay. Agriculturally, right? But it means everything. Every part of you, everything about you needs to be tamed. Everything. And this is where we're going to have the problem. This is the reason why I begin to study off with what is the end of me? What is my end? Tell me what my end is. Okay. This is going to be difficult for me to tell, but it has to be said. Yah is looking for everything, everyone. Okay. And he's looking for everything of your, what they would call your mind. Okay. They got there to Lavavkim, talking about you plural, right? To the household. But you know, the household consists of individuals. They make up the house. Individuals do. We know in the Torah, he talks about that we should love Yahweh in the Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, wa ahavta Yahweh Eloheka lavavika. Okay, not lavavkim, but lavavka. So here it again, Yah is telling us how we have to pursue him. If you and I are not pursuing Yah in this manner, Yah's not going to accept you. He's not. Okay. He's not going to accept us if we are not seeking him wholeheartedly. And he's not talking from a religious standpoint. He's not talking about how many books you've read. He's not talking about any of that. I'm going to explain it to you. Okay. So the Lavavkim is what we're looking for. Okay. And we understand that one can devise many plans in one's mind. Okay. That Lavavkim is your mind. Okay. It's our minds. It's how we think. Okay. And where a lot of our plans happen, because remember, we've been talking about a plan. We've been talking about building. We've been talking about construction. We've been talking about how to use skill and intelligence. The devising of plans is in one's mind. That's where it happens. Okay. But Yahweh's plan will prevail. Okay. So what it's telling us is that an individual can have their own plans, and then also too, but they say, but Yahweh's plan is going to be the one that's going to prevail. The one that's going to stand is Yah's plan. Okay. So you can have all the plans that you want, but Yah's plan is the plan that's going to stand, not yours and not mine. Okay. What we've been doing as a people, okay, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not telling us, hey, I know what's going on in your life. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm telling you what Yah has let me know about how the children of Israel are approaching him. Okay. And why it's dangerous for us. Okay. We're not in this we're not in this to find a savior. We're in this to find out what we need to do to make some changes in our lives. Okay. So this device here is this devising means this you have your own strategy, right? You're going to do things the way that you want to do them. So what he's telling us here is that there's two minds. There's two plans. There's your plan and Yah's plan, right? And he's saying that you can't have it that way. Okay. You can't have it that way. We cannot have it this way. You can't have your own plan and think that Yah's plan is going to ride along with your plan. It's not going to happen. There's two minds that's found in that word lavav. Okay. There's two of them. We've only been told about one of them. Okay. I've only been talking about one of them. I haven't been talking about this other one that I discovered. Okay. just recently. I discovered that I have another mind, you know. And the mind that I have is one that scares me because I really don't know it. I really don't know this other mind. I only know the conscious mind in which I'm thinking, I'm acting, and all that, and whatever comes out, that's what I'm talking about, right? But the other mind of me, I don't know. Okay. The reason why there's two minds is because the Hebrew word, and they hint towards it, and I read it before, but I never really gave it a lot of thought. Okay, to be honest with you, the word for your heart or your mind is called lav, L-A-V. Okay, which is lav. Okay, in Hebrew it is a L-A-B, but they pronounce the B sound as a V sound. That's why it's called vav, lav. Okay, so lav is your mind. Okay, but here you see they gave another bet, right? So we understand what these letters mean, right? So if it means your mind, right? This letter right here represents what? What does this mean?
Lamed, staff.
It's a staff, and the staff is representation of what?
Authority.
Authority. Good. So your mind is talking about your authority. What is the bet?
Tent, house.
The tent, the house, right? The building, the dwelling, okay? And it means inside because that's where things go, inside the tent, okay? Nothing stays on the outside, everything's on the inside. So the idea is the authority that's inside. That's your mind. Your mind is the authority inside, okay? This part right here. But there's another one. There's another place. There's another tent. There's another dwelling. There's two tents right here. Can you see them? What are the two tents right here? What two letters represent the tents?
The bets.
The bets. So we got a tent right here, and we got a tent right here. Okay, and we have this authority, right, which is the staff. So we have authority over two places. One, two. There's another mind. Did you guys know that?
No.
Yeah, there's another mind. Okay, so let me share it with you what it is. And I stumbled across this in my study. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. There's two minds? Yes, there's two minds. Yah says sacrifice and grain offerings you don't want. This is what Dawid said to Yah. Burnt offerings and sin offerings you don't demand. Instead, you have opened my ears. Okay. Some texts say a body thou has prepared me. Now they're going back and fixing that because they know that's a lie. Right. So they use this in the Christian world to say that, you know, this is Christ. No, Christ is talking. You know, he don't want sacrifice. He don't want grain offerings. That's not true. Okay. It's not true. Because in some instances, you might hear David said, you know what? You want this, but you also want the grain offerings. Yah says that when you get back to the land, you're going to bring me your grain offerings. Okay. So he's not contradicting himself. What he's talking about is something deeper. Okay. The deep part is that you have opened my ears. So instead of me bringing you things that I use my brain for, like I know they bring you a certain offering at a certain time, right? Because the children of Israel are supposed to bring offerings to the Most High. And they know that cognitively, right? So they know, oh, we got to bring him a sacrifice. We're going to bring him an offering. We're going to bring him a burnt offering because the priest's supposed to get it. And then we're sinning, so we're supposed to bring a sin offering as well. So we're supposed to bring these offerings. They know that using their mind, right? That mind. They know that. But Dawid says, you don't want that. What is y'all looking for? Y'all's looking to open something. You're going to open my ears. Okay. We know that the ears are used to be able to discern and to make judgment. And they're called what they call the ozim. And they are talking about, it has to do with two scales that are on a balance. Your ears, because you got two ears. Here's one ear and here's the other one. And you're supposed to have balance in order to be just. So you measure things out and you weigh things out. Again, there's that idea of how do you measure things. When David said, what is my days? What is my end? My life ain't nothing but a handbreadth. He understands these things. What he's looking for, and that's in chapter 39. This is chapter number 40. He's looking for Yah to do something. And because his desire is that he wanted to know his end in chapter number 39, the Most High tells him his end in chapter number 40. The following chapter, they go together. He tells him his end. So what is Yah saying here? He said, you have opened my ears. After he made that prayer request about what's my end. So Yah opened his ears so he can find out what his life is about. You said, well, what do you mean open his ears? The word that's being used there to open is called kara. I don't have a slide for it because I figured you guys will be burnt out with too much Hebrew. But let me just tell you what the word means. It means to excavate. Okay? So anytime you're about to do a project, right, there has to be some excavation, right? And what you're going to excavate is the ground or the stone, okay, or the surface, all right, or the foundation. You got to find out what it is before you what? Why do you have to excavate? Because you're interested in building. I'm interested in building. So I have to do some excavation. So he says that Yah excavated him. Yah excavated David. What do you mean that he excavated him? When you excavate, what are you doing?
You're breaking up the ground.
Breaking up the ground. And am I going shallow or am I going what? Am I going to go beneath the surface or I'm just hitting the surface? Where am I going?
I would think beneath.
You're going beneath, which means that you have to go deep. So when David was talking about you open up my ears, he's not just talking about like, you open my ears because they were plugged. He's saying you dug out the inner being of me. You went deep, you excavated things out of me. Yah's not going to build anything on us and just all based off of our minds. Because that's not the mind that he's really trying to get to. That's not the only one. When he says, I want you to be wholehearted with me, with living your vavavkim, he's talking about both of your minds. Listen, both of them here. Look what it says. See, it's not just lavav, it's your lavav kam. Okay. So here, both of those bets, I want both of them. I want both of them. Okay. So here's the deal. So if Yah's after both of those minds, right? Because we have two minds. He's after both of them. Yah has to excavate. David said that Yah did it. Instead, you have opened. David, this is something that David could not do. Listen carefully. David could not open this. David could not excavate this. David didn't have the wherewithal to go down that deep. Yah went deep. Okay? So when Yah goes deep, Yah's going deep in order to expose something. Okay? The deepest part of us is in our stomachs. That's where your emotions are. That's where everything's hidden. What they call that is your subconscious mind. You have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. But in our understanding, even in all the planning that Yah has and all the planning that we saw in our Torah portion, there's a purpose behind it. There was a purpose for digging out on David. There's a purpose for digging out on the children of Israel. There was all things on surface can be hidden in one's mind. We can hide it, all that. We can hide all that kind of stuff. They hid everything from their father. Yosef hid his identity from them. Everyone's trying to hide stuff. Look what David said. He said in the same chapter, in chapter number 40 of Psalms, he says, so then I said, after he opened up and Yah dug deep on David, David said, here I am, meaning I'm at your service. I'm at your service and I'm coming. So the purpose of Yah opening and the purpose of Yah excavating and the purpose of Yah going deep is for us to be able to say, here I am. I'm at your service. That's what he means. I'm at your service. I'm coming. So now David was able now to understand the call That's why he said, you open my ears. That's why you went deep. That's why you dug deep. That's why you're excavating. So I can say, here I am. I'm coming. Coming where? Am I going to die? No. Where am I coming to? I'm coming to be at your service. And you and I cannot get to that point until God does that second mine, until he digs deep and excavates that. But it's not until you and I ask Yah to do the excavation. It's not until we come to the end of ourselves and say, listen, I've learned as much as I can learn. I've studied as much as I can study. I understand as much as I can. Now I'm done with me and I'm ready for you now. I'm ready for you to teach me now. I'm ready for you to go deeper because I don't have it within me. I wasn't designed for me to be able to do this work because it takes more than what I can do. I don't have the wherewithal or the power to become the servant that God wants me to become unless I'm interested in him going deep. We want to be with Yah on a very surface level. We want to establish our families on a surface level. And Yah's not interested in surface. He's only interested in that which has been excavated to get down, to find out what's hidden, and to open us up so we can say, here I am, and I'm coming to do what? To serve you. Dawid said in a scroll of a book, it is written about me. He's not talking about, well, the Torah is talking about me, about Dawid. No, it's obvious that Yah's talking about Dawid in different places in the prophets. He does mention Dawid in the Torah. He does. He mentions him in the book of Numbers that there's going to be a king that's going to come out of the land of the family of Israel. He does. But he's not talking about, he said to come out of the book. He said out of a book. Meaning that there's things that are written inside of a scroll of what's supposed to happen in my life that I'm the one who's supposed to come to you. But everybody, he's not saying that just about himself. He's saying that about you and I. You and I can say the book is written about me when you and I follow the diet. Oh, you better hear what I'm saying to you today. The book, the scroll of the book is written about you, Israel. The scroll of the book is written about you, individual. The scroll of the book is about you who keep the Shabbat. It's written about you who keep the Moedim. It's about you who follows the diet and serves the living Elohim. It could be about you too. But you can't acknowledge that until you say, here I am. We can't say this unless Yah does a deep digging on us. He says, it's written about me to do what pleases you. It's written about me to do what pleases you. That's why the scroll of a book can be written about you. If you're interested in saying, here I am, I'm coming to do what pleases you. Oh, my Elohim, my power, I'm here now. My Elohim is my delight. Do you remember what he just said? He said that these things didn't make you happy. You didn't want them. And that word want, don't want means it didn't give you any pleasure. It's not that you don't want it. It means that it didn't give you any pleasure. What gives Yah pleasure is that you and I are saying, here I am, and I'm coming to you. What gives Yah pleasure is when we say we want to do what pleases you. My Elohim, my delight, now that you've become my pleasure. Oh, you better hear what he's saying. You're my delight. You're my pleasure. Your teaching is in my inmost beings. What part of me is he talking about? He's not talking about reading the Torah on a daily basis. Oh, well, you know, this is what it says. He's saying it's inside of my inmost parts. Your teaching is the Torah. In the Hebrew, it says the Torah. It's talking about the instructions that have to go down deep into the place that you and I know nothing about. It's that subconscious mind that doesn't know the Most High Yah. That part of Dawid that became to be interested in making Yah happy and pleasing what pleases Yah, not living for himself. That's why he said, oh, please help me understand and grasp what my end must be. Your end has to be that you're, here I am, Yahweh. Here I am. I'm coming to do what pleases you. And you and I cannot do this when you and I have a double mind. Or you're operating on one mind and the other mind is dormant and you think that I'm going to still please Yah. We can't please Yah with just this so-called intellectual mind. You can't please Yah because you have a whole bunch of definitions and words. You can't please Yah if you know how to speak 1,700 different languages. Only thing that's going to bring delight to our master is when I say, here I am, and I'm coming to you, Yah, because it's written about me to do what pleases you, which is the Torah in my inmost parts, not on the surface. That's where that word, that other word that they have for heart is called a me'ai. And a me'ai is your second mind. That's what it is. Okay? Hebraically, what is a me'ai? A me'ai means this. It means the unknown and knowing. Think about that for a second. The unknown and knowing? What do you mean the unknown and the knowing? What are you talking about, Dawid? It's found within the letters of the Hebrew language. The letter mem right here means water. It means the sea. It means unknown. That's why when we say ma, it means unknown, like we've been going over. Ma, unknown, because you don't know what's underneath the sea. You don't know. The ayin right here is to know from the eye. It means visual experience. It means that you know something. It's the knowing. You can see it with your eyes. So when we're talking about this, and this right here is my unknown knowing. Okay? So the part of us that knows about Yah, that we understand, is the part that is the knowing. That's what the visual eye. We read the information. We read the Torah. We read the Psalms. We read the language. We do all these other things. It's the things that you and I don't know. That's the other mind. So what it's talking about is unknown and knowing. What's known is through your mind, that first part of your mind, which is your lav. That other one, that's unknown, excuse me. That's not the known. The knowing is the mind, okay, which is your lav. The second unknown is called your me'ai, okay, my mind. This is my innermost being. There's a part of you that's deeper than what you know. There's a part of you that you don't even know about. You don't even know what's in that surface. You don't. When you go outside and you look at the ground, you only see the grass or the flowers, but you don't know what's going on underneath. Just like you don't know you can see the sea, but you don't know what's going on underneath. You don't know. There's a part of us that we just don't know. And Yah is saying to us that you have a second mind that has to be dealt with. That's the unconscious mind. Is where everything's at. Is all your super duper pains and hurts that has been shaping your life. It's everything that you experienced as a child and you in the anxieties of what you experience that you kind of way protected and hid away and don't even talk about. And you doing stuff based on those things that happen to you, but it's not apparent, it's not on the surface, you really don't see it. It's in your unconscious mind. It's in your what they would call your subconscious mind. You see? So there's things that we know and there's things we don't know. That's the reason why Dawid said that you have opened my ears so I can do what pleases you. God gave him access to him. And that's what you and I should be after if we're going to draw close to Yah. If we're going to be after Yah, we're going to approach Yah. We're going to have to be about going deep with Yah. Because guess what? Yah wants to draw near to you. He wants to approach you. And he wants you to approach him. But how? How should you and I be able to approach the King of the universe? With our own understanding, with what we think is right from our own perspective, with things that are hidden about us, we think it's okay to walk up in front of Yah as if he doesn't know? When it said that there is a book that was written about me, a scroll, it's not the only thing that's written about you. Every detail of your life is written in a book. It's written down the days of your life. It's written down about all your challenges. It's written down about all your crimes. There's Malachim that are writing down what you and I are doing right now. There's a record book. There's nothing that's not going to go unnoticed. There's nothing that's going to go unchecked. There's nothing that's going to happen and we think that it's all good. Everything about your life is being written down from the moment that you rise to the moment you go to sleep. Every word that's ever come out of our mouths is written down. Every action that we've ever had, every thought that we've ever had. And that's talking about from the conscious mind. So what do you think is in the subconscious that's written? What do you think that's written down? So you and I can just walk up before the Most High, like the New Testament talks about, with boldly and full of, we could walk boldly before the throne of Yah. Because he'll understand our situation. No, he won't. It's already written. In the book of Ezekiel, he talks about if an evil person would change their ways, all they got to do is just turn to righteousness. Not a back and forth, just one time. And everything they've done, I'll never remember. I'll throw the book away. You and I would do what's right. Yah says, I'll get rid of the catalog of sins and crimes that you committed against me. If you turn to righteousness, if you do what's right, I'll get rid of the catalog. There's a catalog. There's books, people. There's tablets. This ain't just, spare to, do whatever you want. Everybody, we talked earlier today about how the sun, moon, and the stars are being regulated by Malachim. They write down their courses. If they're out of line by one moment, it's a transgression against Yah.